Hi and welcome, especially to Leon, whose father has kindly requested this video on the Minuet by Jean-Baptiste Loeillet. It's piece A3 on the ABRSM grade 5 syllabus at the moment. And especially we're going to look at the mordants, the decorations, the ornaments in this piece, and work out how to play them. Let's tuck in straight away. In this piece we see both upper and lower mordants. You occasionally come across the term, I was reading quite recently, inverted mordant, being misused. It seems to be used for both types, so I've taken to not using it. I think the words upper mordant and lower mordant are so much clearer. If the squiggly line has a line through it, that is a lower mordant. Basically, let's grab a C. A lower mordant involves the note itself and the note below. An upper mordant, no surprises here, is the note itself and the note above. But it's slightly more complicated than that, because especially on an upper mordant, and we're going to see it here, instead of doing a simple, we very often start on the upper note. Oh gosh. So you end up with that. Now we're going to run into that, so you'll see it in action as we go through. So I'm going to play through all the mordants, all the decorations are in the right hand. So let me just walk through the right hand really slowly and find out what's going on. So this is a low mordant on an F. Put the left hand in a minute, by the way. I'm going to keep going. The fingering for this will be really crucial to work out. And in the early stages of learning the piece, really take your time. So here, and that natural sign, because we're in 3 flats, we're an E flat major, aren't we? So normally that would be an A flat. So we need the natural sign to tell us, for this mordant, use the A natural. Has to be third finger because otherwise we would have our thumb on a black note, which we probably want to avoid. Now this one, it's an upper mordant, so perhaps it should be, and it ain't going to be this, but just that simple thing there. But we're going to start on the upper note, so we're going to do that. Now all of these need almost the context of the left hand so that the timing is accurate. So let me run through now that same bit with the left hand as well. Really steadily. 1, 2, that's what I'm thinking. So it's very precise. When I hit the second F is when I hit the C. They are absolutely in sync. Let's keep going. Exactly the same. You can hear the pattern in the music. Hold on to that E flat in the left hand and that D. I'm going to keep going. Yeah? Again, and there's the B flat that's notated before the ending chord there. Now a note on some other details. The articulation in the left hand. The perceived wisdom is that quavers should be slightly detached and semiquavers smooth, and that broadly speaking works. But I think, and we'll see this later on in the piece, we need to be a bit more subtle and a bit more imaginative with that. Let me now play through that first page at something like the correct speed. So is that starting to make sense? Let's move on and look at the second half now, a longer section. And again, I'll go nice and steadily. I think with both hands straight in, but at a steady speed, and we'll bump into all the ornaments as we go, and possibly a few other things as well. Loudly this bit. So here, for example, I did different articulations in that left hand. We could try all of them nice and detached, or that kind of thing. I'm just leaning on the first note. I'm just holding on a little bit longer, aren't I? And we're also seeing some terraced dynamics here, aren't we? The music for this period is famous for having either loud or soft. Now we're playing on a piano, so I think there's room for being a bit more imaginative if you want it to be, but in the score it says quite clearly loud and then suddenly soft. There's no gradual changes of dynamic here, are there? Let me slow it down a bit. Yeah. And then loud again. I'll keep it slowly. Quiet. Those terrace dynamics. Yeah. The fifth finger is really important on that F to start the next phrase so we can play it. Yeah. It's the same thing as we did in bar 40. For this chunk here, I've changed the fingering a little bit. I'm not suggesting in any way that you should follow my fingering, but there's patterns going on here, aren't there? For example, that shape that we see in bar 50, we also see in bar 54, and we also see in bar 56. So I want to have the same fingering each time I play that. That's my thought. It does mean that my hand gets into some slightly awkward positions, but for comparison I'll just play that through what I was doing. That last ornament, I did 4 and 3 that time, but I think 5 and 3 is probably easier. So to conclude, I would suggest you really, as always, go nice and steadily, lay good foundations when you're learning this piece. And the ornaments don't need to be rushed. Don't feel that your fingers need to move very, very fast, because they don't. And take your time, work out exactly how things line up. And then gradually the right speed for you will materialise, I'm sure. Just before we go, a very quick word to draw your attention to bar 40 and bar 42, where the effect of the mordant means we've got 3 against 2. It's a tricky rhythm. Take it apart and then gradually build it back up again. Best of luck with Leon and anybody else that's learning this piece. As always, any questions, please come back to me. Bye bye for now.